Hello and welcome to C++ Weekly. I am your host, Jason Turner. In this episode, I want to discuss the use of AI tooling. And if you stick around, I'll explain why I am making this episode and what I think you should be doing. Before I get started, I want to point out that I am giving a workshop in Folkestone, England called C++ Best Practices. And this is the 15th and 16th of June. In September, I will be giving the same best practices class at CVPCon, followed immediately by NDC TechTown in Kongsberg, Norway, for the same C++ best practices workshop again. If you've been to one of my workshops, do be aware that they change constantly. So if you've been before, you will get new information coming again. You're using AI wrong. So why am I making this episode? I care deeply about good, safe code. This is my mission. This is why I offer these workshops. This is why I have a YouTube channel. This is why I have a podcast. I give out this information for free. Well, the workshops I charge you for because I have to make a living somehow, because I care about good, safe code. So I have 3 episodes planned that are about the ways of better using AI, and the first one is this clickbait episode, "You're using AI wrong," to get your attention. Chat agents are kind of used as a replacement for Stack Overflow. These things don't have any context for the code that you're working on, and they can very often get the details wrong. Specifically with C++. They're going to give you what you asked for, not necessarily what you need or something that fits into your project. Now, interestingly, this is the comments at the top of a file that I'm getting ready to feed into an agentic tool to show you what I think is the best way to use this. Let's go ahead and create a type. And I've got to be honest, I haven't put a ton of thought into this. You'll understand why in a moment what I'm going for. But really, I wanted to do something completely off the cuff, as I often do in these videos, but also because I don't want the agent to already have something in its mind for what I am doing. Mind in quotes, and think and learn, and just put all those things in quotes. Yes, I know that these are not intelligences, but they are tools that can be used to great effect if you use them correctly. I also want to say, I don't want to endorse any company or use of AI. And this video exists because you are already using AI. I ask you these things on social media, and when I am giving workshops, and when I am speaking at conferences, and you're all already using AI. So it's not like I'm trying to encourage you to use it. You're already doing this. I don't know, some sort of data thing that I have here. It's got a couple of values, I guess. Now I'm going to create a test adding. And this is going to assert a couple of things. So I'm going to get data thing dt1 of, I'm going to initialize this thing with like values 1 and 3, and then I'm going to create a separate thing. And I'm going to initialize this with values 2 and 5. And I want to assert that dt1 plus dt2 equals data thing of 3, 8. So I am asserting that these things can be added together, and the result of adding them together is the same result of adding the individual components together. That seems pretty straightforward. Now I am going to add another one called test multiplying, and I am going to assert that dt1 times dt2 equals data thing of 2, 15. So again, I'm just going to assert that this is the same as multiplying the constituent values of this thing to each other. Not doing a cross multiply or something like that in this particular case. And then I'm going to have main, and I am going to call test adding and test multiplying. All right, that seems pretty straightforward. I am going to suggest you give it a very simple, specific set of things. A distinct task to complete. This could be a large task, but it needs to be a very specific task. But we want one distinct task with a very clear goal, and the task should be repeatable. Now, I should state out, I've spent several weeks of my own time and money attempting to get the best possible results from these tools. So a single distinct task to complete, the size of the task is irrelevant, with a very clear goal, and the task should be repeatable. So I'm going to say, Claude, please compile the project in this folder and get exactly one of the tasks working. Just like that. As you can see here, the tool is going to search the folder for whatever it happens to find. It's going to figure out how to compile this project. Okay, so it's missing a few operators for data thing and a typo in the main call. I missed the typo. The user asked for exactly one test working, so I'll enable test adding and comment out the multiply test. Okay, so it has created the operator plus overload, and it has created the equals operator overload. You might observe a few things that are not ideal here, and I immediately see some things that are not ideal. Let's say go ahead and make this change here. And I don't know what the actual error was. Go ahead and make that change as well, and we can go back over here and we can see that it is changing this because NeoVim is going to automatically reload that buffer. C++17 test, and it is going to execute it. And you can tell it, you don't have to ask me again for this. Error. Assert macro passes 2 arguments, but takes just 1. So notice now it is going to guide itself in correcting this. And I can say, don't ask about editing again in this particular session. Project compiles, test adding passes. This is what I did. It tells me this. All right. Let's talk about Sandbox real quick. I think all the tools have something like this. It says no Sandbox at the moment. I'm going to say Sandbox the tool. We can see that it added the plus, it added the multiply, and it added the equals operator. And it properly implemented the 2 operators here. Even though I asked it to only get 1, it needed to add the second one to get the code compiling. It's in sandbox mode now with auto enable, so I will add a comment here. We really don't want it escaping. We're going to sandbox it. And I'll just tell it to get one more test working. It should be able to figure out that there is only 1 test remaining. And you'll notice that this is a single, simple task that is repeatable. So it is going to do this change for me. They now compile and pass. I just uncommented the call and fixed the function name typo. Very good. Well, no. Multiplying. So it didn't correct my spelling, but it corrected the call to the test harness. Okay. I am going to make a change here. Now, I want you to observe some things. This project, this change from Claude, did not use constexpr anywhere where it could have and probably should have. This is all defined and declared in line. These are simple small functions. It didn't do anything that I would like it to do. It kind of just followed the model that was in front of it. So we're going to quit the session. Now we're going to take this back a notch. I'm going to static assert on the plus operator, which I can do, and I'm going to get rid of the equals. Now, I just made this constexpr and I said static assert. No, let's not do that. Let's notice this folder is now sandboxed. Now, it's going to have to relearn how this project works because I just started it over from scratch here. Of course, it's going to see the operator equal doesn't exist. And I can say, yes, go ahead and make the changes. Now notice it made the operator star const expr. Let's go back to this code. Now notice in assert multiplying here, this is just a regular assert. It is choosing, if you will, to make the multiply operator const expr because that is the model that I gave it to follow. So go ahead and do that. And notice, because I told it C++20 mode, it was able to default the const expr equals operator. And now it sees that these values themselves must be const expr for this to pass the tests. So it did not change these to being static assert. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. We're going to save again, and we're going to restart our Claude session again, never resuming from the same context. Just going to say add a multiply test to this project. See what it did here? It followed the pattern of the add test, right? It created const expr, it added the static asserts. It chose to do that, if you will, quote, chose to do that, because it was following the pattern that was already in the code. The final thing here that I want you to take away is give the AI a good model to follow. It will amplify the decisions in your code. Whatever they are, it will amplify them. And I'm going to end the episode here. These are the things that I think that you should focus on. Simple, distinct, self-guided task with a very clear goal that is repeatable. And we'll talk more about the repeatableness in an upcoming episode. Make sure you use the sandbox mode and give the AI a good model to follow. It will amplify the decisions in your code. That will also be a follow-up episode. And I would like to repeat again that I'm not endorsing the use of these tools. You are already using these tools, so I want to make sure you use them in the best possible way you can. Thank you for watching this episode of C++ Weekly. Be sure to subscribe. I will catch you in the next episode.